One of the most annoying things about religious types is that they're always going on about their holy book. I mean, nothing wrong with someone reading a book then telling you what they think about it. But with this lot, it's a book that tells them what to think. So really it's no better than trying to live your life by the latest book on positive thinking. You've got a book full of simplistic and self-contradictory formulas versus the multi-layered and essentially paradoxical journey which is your life. The two just don't match up. And even the half-decent ideas you get in religious books, they're never that brilliant when you try them out in real life. Like, turn the other cheek. I mean, it sounds nice, and maybe there's some truth in it, but have you ever seen one of those Hollywood films where Jesus confronts a centurion, then he turns the other cheek? He always does it with a big, smug smirk that's basically saying, hit me again if you need to, but you will only be proving how morally superior I am. In fact, I'm more impressed by the centurion, that he manages to not hit him again. I mean, it must have been very tempting to literally kick the living bejesus out of the smug get. All that crap about consider the lilies. What about the lilies? Of course they don't toil. They're just plants, you stupid hippie. Or, if you've got two coats, give one away. How's that work when your one remaining coat needs a wash? It's all nonsense. But the worst thing about people who follow a book religion is that they've got to decide in advance that whatever's written in that book is what they're going to think. It just wouldn't work if they started saying, oh yeah, the Bible, it is divinely inspired, but he got it wrong about that bit, you know, where he's hating gays. Or what if you're having a conversation with someone who's religious and the subject of, say, the morning after pill comes up, but they don't know what they're meant to think about that? Yeah, what if they hadn't read the right bit in their book yet? I suppose they'd just have to put you on hold so they can run home and find out what they're meant to think. It's pathetic, but it's also totally 1984. Yeah, because one of Orwell's most chilling insights in that book was that the followers of Big Brother didn't just go along with what he wanted. No, they decided in advance that they were going to totally agree with whatever he said. And that's what Christians do. They call it believing with all your heart. But it's straight out of 1984. So it's going to be a long time before you see a Christian get his Bible out, look up the relevant verse, then go, wait on, there's no way I'm believing that. In fact, it'll never happen, because that's the deal when you sign up to a book religion. You agree in advance that whatever's in that book, most of which you've never read or even understood if you did read it, that just is going to be what you'll think from now on. Which brings up another question. Why did God even bother to give us free will in the first place if he's also going to supply us with a book that's got all the right answers in it? It's like going to the movies with someone and they say, okay, enjoy the film, see what you make of it, but I can tell you now that he's the baddie, she's not really in love with him, and that spaceship's just an optical illusion. You'd be like, shut up, God, and get your omnipresent head out of the way, I can't see the screen. But isn't that typical of the world according to God? It always ends up being really boring. Everything's planned out in advance, there's no intrigue, no mystery, except maybe the mystery of how an all-powerful being ends up being so insecure. Yeah, insecure, because why else did he choose to populate his world with a load of pathetic little people whose only role is to worship him, do as they're told, and never challenge anything they read in his book? I mean, why didn't he create a bunch of mates for himself, people who were basically on his level, the kind of people who he could just hang out with and have a laugh? And okay, maybe every now and then one of them might say, you know, God, you really are full of shit. But he'd just laugh that off. Or maybe he'd make like he was about to smite them then. Ha ha, see the look on your face. You know, relax. Take it on the chin every now and then. But no, that was never going to happen. Instead, he's like, were you taking my name in vain then? Don't do that, all right? I'll know if you do. And what's that in your hand? Is that a graven image? Have you got a graven image there? Give me a break. Because it's bad enough when someone's got a massive insecurity complex, but when they're all powerful as well, you better stay out the way. Except I forgot, he's omnipresent too. And finally, one of the excuses that the more intelligent kind of Christians fall back on is, don't take it literally. That book was written for primitive people, so God had to use analogies that they could understand. All right, so when God was working on his creation, you could imagine him saying to Satan, who was of course originally an angel, right, I want to create a load of people, then communicate to them my message of love and peace. So, obviously, I could just create some really cool dudes who'd get exactly what I'm talking about. But where's the fun in that? So instead, I'm going to make them all bloodthirsty numpties. Yeah, a bunch of people who are so backward, they'll think it's a good idea to shag sheep unless I keep telling them otherwise. True, this way I'll have to not so much adapt my message as totally mangle it. I'll have to spend hundreds of years telling them it's okay to murder, rape and pillage, because, well, anything else would be too intellectual for them. But eventually they will become fully civilized, and then I'll reveal my true message of love and peace, so won't that be a nice surprise? And Satan, like, behind the fixed smile, he's standing there thinking, this guy has lost it completely, I am just totally out of here.